It. Hey guys, good evening. I'm Al Washington, and welcome to my Mystical Loves podcast. I am here with author, life coach, and speaker Michelle Douglas, and we're going to be talking about her new book, psychological thriller, The Mirror. And I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic to Michelle if she'd like to go ahead and say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody. I'm so excited and very appreciative for this opportunity, and I'm looking forward to answering some questions and also getting to talk a little bit about the mirror.
Absolutely, Michelle. Absolutely. All right. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it then. Okay. So, regarding with the book, how did the creation start? Like, what was any inspiration or anything? What made you create the mirror?
It's the craziest thing that I have found with the writing process because I've been a reporter, I've written nonfiction, and now I'm in the fiction world. And it literally, most of my ideas come to me when I'm in the car, which is so inconvenient because
Right.
you can't stop and take notes.
Right. Oh my God.
So I was waiting for an appointment and I had all this kind of storyline come into my mind while I was driving. So when I got to where I was going, I opened up my notes app in my phone and just started writing
Okay.
like just everything that came to mind,
Right.
and then sort of went from there with specifically with the mirror. That's how it sort of came to be, was just this rolling around some concepts and then all of a sudden like there it was. So yeah.
No, but don't you hate that, Michelle, when when we're sitting in front of a blank piece of paper or typewriter or whatever, nothing comes out. But all of a sudden, like you said, you're in your car, now this stuff, like this shit comes out of your head. I hate that too. It's like I have a little notepad in my car. Like I have
Yeah.
it in the driver, like little glove compartment, because just in case if something comes up, I'm at a stop sign or something, I'm just like, oh my God, why can't this come out when I'm physically writing or like in front of a typewriter or my notepad? But yeah,
Absolutely. And I think it's both a blessing and a curse because
right,
then you're like, oh, this is so good. And then I'm like rolling it over and over and over so that it doesn't leave my mind before I have a
right.
chance to get my phone open. So since then I have realized that of course there is this lovely thing called voice to text.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
could speak it into my notes app and don't have to wait for those, paused, parked moments. So yeah.
It's crazy. No, but so basically, and I thought it was just me too, but you do write in your head, obviously. I know it's not a crazy question, but like as writers, if we're not physically writing, we're writing in our head. At least
All the
I do.
time. All the time. And even
Yes.
now,
So,
like I had sort of this goal of which books I wanted released this year.
uh-huh.
And now I am attempting to put my writing brain into park for the holiday season and just kind of take a breath and then start again. And it's like watching horses race in your head. Like they don't want to be held back. And so I'm trying so hard to stick to my plan about taking the holidays, regrouping, and then back to more writing next year. And my creative brain is fighting me tooth and nail.
Right, I hear that, man. No, but don't you feel like maybe it's just me that, let's say if I did take a break, even less a day off, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna forget everything. I'm not a
Yeah.
creative writer. I don't know. I have that feeling. It's like, no, I need to stop. But at the same time, we do need to recharge. At least I do. Just like hell, our phones need to recharge. We charge our phones. Trust me, we don't stop doing that. We
No,
need to
and
be
there's just no time, right? Between all
right.
the other things that like I do plus getting ready for the holidays, it's like there is not that sit down dedicated time. And so yeah, so it is an interesting thing that even when you're not actively writing and working on a project,
Right.
that creative brain does not go to sleep.
It really doesn't. But no, on a serious note, but we do as creative writers, we really do need to take that recharge and re-rest.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I'm working on as well. But I'm definitely glad to hear that you're just taking a break because it's a holiday as hell. I mean,
Yeah.
Christmas, New Year. I mean, yeah, we do. We really need to just, yeah. So.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So I'm not really trying to reveal anything too much, like I said, about the book. And
Mhm.
again, everybody I wanted to say this is my first podcast, and I'm talking to an author when it comes to opening up voodoo. I know I see a lot of books, especially Amazon, whatever, with dealing with witchcraft, but really voodoo, I don't see a lot of. There was a series I was
Sure.
starting, it was a comic series, I can't remember the name. She stopped writing for a little bit, but it was really good. So,
Yeah.
but I would love to see and read more about voodoo. And I know on your story takes place in the heart of New Orleans. How was it
Mhm.
dipping into voodoo?
I actually didn't realize that is what it had done. Like
Right.
I wanted as soon as I started kind of crafting up this story, and I was like, okay, well, you obviously always have to have like a location. And the first thing that I try to always decide is this an actual location or is this like a fictional made up city that never existed anywhere?
Right.
And I love New Orleans. It's my favorite city to travel to in the United States. I love it so much. I'm a New Orleans Saints fan. I
Oh.
absolutely love New Orleans. So it just seemed sort of like the perfect fit, right? There was going to be this eerie, sort of haunting situation that was going to take place, some of that really sort of tormented history. It just seemed like the perfect fit. It just seemed to fit perfectly. So I did some research and on some, because I mean, I know the parts of New Orleans I go to, and they're very touristy, right?
Uh-huh.
So I was on Google Maps researching like different streets and locations and even the live vision of the street, sort of like the satellite vision, and found that street, and that was the street that most of the story takes place on, and it
Right.
was just the perfect fit. Yeah.
Oh, I had never been in New Orleans yet, but I definitely wanted to go. I heard it's a lot of vibe, definitely beautiful vibe out there. I know what my other
Mm.
friend went. She said it was a lot of homeless people downtown New Orleans. Okay, but then one of my favorite shows. I don't know if you're familiar with the interview with the vampire, which takes place
Yes.
at New Orleans. The
Yes.
studio love it. Yes, season 3 is coming out
Yes.
next year. I can't wait. But anyway, no, I just
Yeah.
on a random note, I do love. I would love to travel one day. Definitely go to New Orleans and definitely check it out.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a great city.
yeah, that's what I heard. I bet the food, the vibe, the drinking, and I wanted to check out the voodoo museums.
Yeah, even the music, and even though like, and just the nicest people. Like, nice people, and they're so curious about like where we're from, and especially when I tell them where we're from, like even if it's like a server in a restaurant or somewhere, and I tell them about like how cold it can get up here in the snow, and they cannot, they're so curious about up here, just like we're always curious and ask a lot of questions about life down there, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah,
yeah, it's a great city, highly recommend.
absolutely. Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you. Definitely what's on my wish list. We'll definitely see.
There you
Absolutely.
go.
For your main character, Paige Thomas, she is
Yeah.
a social worker. How is that creating her? She's the one that discovers, the rituals, the voodoo, the
Yeah, the name, I have found this also with my other books, even though
uh-huh.
they're like children's stories. The names of these characters are one of those things that pop into my head again in the car, wake up in
Right,
the middle of the night, and I'm like, yep, that's the name, right? Like,
right,
it doesn't really mean anything. It just sort of came to be. Plus, I struggle when I read books if the characters' names are too complicated. I
yeah,
feel a little bit detached because I feel like I'm offending the character if I pronounce it wrong in my head, even though
right,
like they're not going to know, right?
right.
So I tend to recognize in my own writing that I keep the names fairly like simple, like nothing
Mhm.
overly complicated.
Right.
And it just seemed to, as I was writing about like her job and what she was even doing on the street in the first place when she finds the house, um, yeah, again, it was just like, yeah, Paige is a good name, and I can't even really explain it. Like, it sounds so
No,
awful
absolutely.
because
Yeah, no,
it just sort of clicks, right? It's like, oh yeah, this is her
exactly.
name, this is her name, and then you kind of roll with it for a few pages, and you're like, no, that's not her name. Maybe it is her name, and then yeah, then I just kind of stick with it. So yeah, it came very easily, actually.
No, and like I said, there's certain things you just can't explain. Sometimes your characters you can, some you can't. It basically the personality or the demeanor of the character, it just fits the character. That's it.
Hmm.
No explanation needed, but definitely, yeah,
Yeah,
for that.
yeah.
So overall, your themes that you incorporated in the mirror was guilt, grief,
Hmm.
dangerous, evil things that can pop up or resurface that
Hmm.
how would I say that we don't want to face.
Yeah,
So how was that experience? You don't, I mean, I know not to be technical with it, but overall, like I
yeah.
said, some things just pop up or things we were meant to see or were not meant to see to either make us bad or good people.
Yeah, I think almost everybody, and some people are more open about it than others, everybody has something or some things, people, events that have happened in their past, and everybody kind of deals with them a little bit differently. And so, of course, some people are like right out of the gate, they deal with their demons and they're all kind of put to bed, and some people just try to run from them. and eventually they will always catch you up. Like they will resurface in some way, a
Right.
memory, a song, a place. You'll hear something and it'll bring it back up. And so this again, like without giving away too much,
Right.
you know, yeah, like that house held some secrets and some demons for the people that had lived there, and they needed rest, they needed that peace, they needed to be dealt with and put to sleep, right? So it's an interesting thing. You start kind of reflecting a little bit on your
Yeah.
own demons and past, and you have to kind of, not always go there, but sometimes having those types of things helps you write about them, fiction or not, right? Because
Right.
you've had your own battle, you've had your own things sort of go on in life, and so it's easy to sort of write about it when you know those types of things. Plus, it fit into the fact because she in the book is a social worker. It
Yeah.
fit quite well because
Yeah.
she was in that area there to do her job, which of course is caring, checking up on those types of things and sort of, taking a bit of a caregiver motherly role.
Hmm.
Um, and that then, of course, it put her in a position where she had to kind of face some things. So, yeah.
And you're right. And overall, definitely very good. And also, I'm sure you heard the saying that other people have no problem being judgmental to other people, their demons, their fears, or whatever. But it's kind of hard to turn the mirror on ourselves.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like everybody, everybody sort of does that. And I think some people come across as, oh, well, they must have like a perfect life. Well, no, they're not open about theirs, or they're not sharing their experience, or whatever the case is. And everybody, of course, on very different levels has those things sort of in their life. But it is way easier to sort of assess other people's situations instead
Yeah.
of taking that look in the mirror and being like, hold on here.
Exactly, because there's sometimes when I can't face myself in the mirror or whatever, crying, fear, depression, whatever. That's yeah, exactly. And I'm glad
Yeah.
you did do a very beautiful job, like I said, metaphorically speaking in the book that like broken glass. So that reflects that. But
Hmm.
yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. So
Thank you. Thank you.
you're welcome. But Michelle, with that being said, like what inspired you? Because I know you said you've done reporting. I've never been a reporter. I would definitely love to try that. Um, what inspired you to become a writer? And I always like to
So
ask.
this is a great story, and I love getting asked this question because in a million years people would never think it happened like it happened. So I at the time was living in Chestermere, Alberta, which is about an hour and a half south of where I live now.
Hmm.
And I was it was about 12, 13 years ago, and a group of women there had done a ladies night, and they had called a medium to come and do readings, right?
Okay.
We had some wine, we had a medium come in, she was telling us all these things about ourselves. And so when it came to my turn, she hit the post on a couple of things, like, that I had children, and that I'd been, married, and I had moved a couple of times, and some things about myself. And then she said to me, um, you're going to be a writer. And I was like,
Oh.
no way. Like, there's no way. And she was like, yeah, no, you seriously are. And I was like, okay, well, that's cool. And it's a little exciting and whatever. And
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding you. 4 months later, I got a call from the local newspaper there. I didn't even apply for the job. They called me asking if I would write in their newspaper. 4 months later.
Nice. Okay. That's
So
nice.
I was just leaving to go on a vacation at the time. So I said, let me think about this, because I'm like, I've never done this, right? Like I have zero, no experience. And they were like, that's okay. Like you've lived in the community for a long time. You know a lot of people. It was a fairly small town at the time. And I was like, okay. So I said, let me go on my vacation. I'll get back to you.
Okay.
So went on my vacation, came back, took the job, and then worked there for a year and a half.
Uh-huh.
So that's kind of where it started. And then I really did enjoy it. And then so fast forward to last September, so September 2024, and I was approached by a group of people that were doing a anthology type book, a co-author. There was 14 or 15 authors in the book, and it was all on sovereignty and freedom and survival and those types of things.
Uh-huh.
And so I wrote a chapter in that, and it was just the floodgates flew open. Like I got that out, and that was a nonfiction story of my own, like a story from my past,
Oh,
And all of a sudden, it was just like the creative fire was lit. And I think now that made a total of 8 books that have come out this year.
oh, God bless you. All right. I'm talking about, yeah, machine gun over here. Okay, I like that. Very
So
nice.
it just seemed like that domino effect. Like as soon as that gate was kind of kicked open a little bit,
Yeah.
I got that bug back. And now it wasn't like a reporting, it wasn't telling other people's stories. And it was then just this, yeah, they just flew out of my head and away we went.
Oh my God. I like that's congratulations. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay.
Thank you.
Do you have a favorite author, Michelle, or a favorite story?
I really like I kind of bounce all over the place. I read all the Frida McFadden. She's amazing. Like The Housemaid, like the movie's now about to come out. Like she's fantastic.
Uh-huh.
And of course, like there's, Jim Pattinson, like the crime novels, that type of stuff. Like, it's so funny. I wish I had more time to read, which sounds ridiculous because you
Oh,
would think that as a writer, you
yeah.
want people to buy your books and read, and so
Yeah.
other authors. I really kind of get into like the nonfiction stuff. So like Brene Brown, what's her name? Mel Robbins,
Okay.
her stuff, like their books, really, really good. So I usually alternate. I'll do like a fiction, then a nonfiction, fiction, nonfiction. And then all of a sudden I was so busy writing and publishing them and getting them out that I'm like, I should maybe read a book over the holidays. That might
Right.
get my energy refocused. So
I know they see you saying as us writers, we do have to read. We don't have to, but still, like again, how our bodies need water, we need to read. That's like second nature
yeah,
to us. But I hear you. Like
yeah,
you said, it's not enough time in the day though sometimes. So
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
definitely
and I
something
think
to
it's
do.
probably the same for like if actors get asked like what their favorite movies are, right?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
sometimes you're so busy doing your own thing, you forget to enjoy other people's work, and
Right.
it is something that I should definitely get back into, so for sure.
What about you? Sometimes when I'm reading, I just need to enjoy the book. Sometimes I can, but then either I'm looking at, oh my God, well, they did it this way, periods, commas, and it developed. Yeah, it
Yeah.
just we can't like if we're watching a movie, like we writers, we can't seem to enjoy it. At least I can't, because like you're thinking about, wow, well, how come they did it this way? Or, the
Yeah.
punctuation, the grammar, it's just yeah,
Well, and I'm one of those people that I read all the time when I travel, like on the
that's good.
plane, at the resort, wherever. Like I'm always reading at that point. But
Uh-huh.
when I'm home, I always feel like there's stuff to do. And so I
Yeah.
always like last year we went to Mexico for a week, almost about this time. And yep, finished a book, read it. It was a great Christmas story, great book.
Uh-huh.
And so when I travel, I read way more than when I'm at home.
Nice. So it's like, yeah, I don't just want to sit there with my tea and just relax and just escape and read my book. Yes, that's what,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
That's for that being said. So I was on your website and I also saw that you, again, like I mentioned earlier, that you are a life coach and
Yeah,
that you help others with, their purpose in life and their self-confidence. What
yeah.
made you pursue that as well as being a life coach?
So during the time that I was writing for the newspaper, of course, all of that time was spent writing other people's stories, right? And some
Mhm.
were very positive about things they'd done in the community. Some were about a death in the community. Some of them would be sad. Some would be happy. It was kind of a mix of everything. And so the reason that I left the newspaper was because I ran for city council in
Mhm.
that town and I was successful. And so I sat on city council for 4 years as a city councilor. And during that time, I realized that, my background by way of a career is administration, office management, project management, that type of thing. But where I thrived was helping people. And of course, all of the jobs basically since being on with the newspaper have been that, whether it was storytelling or then on city council, helping anything, right? Getting
Yeah.
someone's snow removed, getting a sidewalk done, a road built, whatever the case was, right?
Mhm.
So when I moved then out of city council and then I had some life changes and I moved up here, I definitely tried to figure out how to get back into that. And that seemed like a great thing. So I did take just some very, like, sort of some online courses just to make sure that I knew kind of exactly what I was doing and where life coaching stops. And then if someone was to need actual like therapy, so
Hmm.
that I'm not overstepping and you know when to drive them to a different direction. And then, yeah, so started doing that and just kind of helping people, especially women, find their voice, ask their boss for that raise, have conversations with their partners about what they need out of the relationship. Those things that sometimes as women we're kind of told we can't talk about because then we're
Yeah.
being bitchy or we're rude or we're
Yeah.
asking for too much, right?
Mm.
And so, yeah, it's sort of that was sort of the push was I've if I look back on my life, most of the work I have done in any type of industry always seem to circle back to helping people. So it's sort
I
of
hear
been a
that.
lifelong thing. And I volunteer, I give back. I'm currently even volunteering at the one of the local high schools here. I'm a basketball coach. So volunteering and giving back's always kind of been a fairly good sized piece of my core makeup. So yeah.
No, and when you mentioned that, when you said you help women, we speak our mind that we're, like you said, bitchy or witchy, or
Yeah.
we can't, don't overthrow the man. Like we need to know our place, like a Stepford wife or something that it would
Yes.
threaten the man. But no, if we're sticking up for ourselves and standing up for ourselves, that seems to
Yeah.
be an issue. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because that's still
Yeah.
an issue. Like I said to this day, like, oh, well,
Sure.
you're this and that. I'm like, no, that no.
No, I'm just, yeah. And I find like it, I've had women as recently as weeks ago say things like, okay, well, what is your goal? Because in our discovery call, that is what we talk about. Why are you,
Right.
why are you here? What made you reach out now? Like, what do you need? Right? Tell me what you need. And it was a lot of, well, I've been in the same position at my job for X amount of months, years, whatever. And I don't know how to ask for that promotion, that raise. People around me are bypassing me. So still in 2025, like it is a thing. It is a thing.
Yeah, or like if they ask for something, like have the courage to speak up at either their significant other, get mad at them and break up with them. Is that the fear that
Yeah.
they have? Do you mind me asking? Like, you don't have to go into
Oh
detail, but
yeah.
like,
No, it is. It's
right,
it's the couple of examples at the top of my mind because they've been recently have been workplace and relationships. Like people just afraid to, I need this or I need, help with, things around the house and they don't know. Basically all I do is sort of one give them the space to say it how you want to say it, like come
right,
at me like you're talking to that other person, and then
exactly,
let's sort of craft a way that you can say it and approach it without it coming off aggressive, but making
right,
sure that you're assertive and getting your point across, right? So,
absolutely.
yeah.
That's something. Yeah, that's something. Good luck with. Yeah, I hear that. Still, like you said, still an issue to this day
To
in
this
this age.
day,
And
yeah.
while we're going into the new year, it's still going to be an issue in 2020.
Oh, it sure is. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
it doesn't stop. So, but I guess from on the aspect, some people, I guess some women don't want to be alone or feel alone. They go, well,
Mm,
it's hard to find a good man, or et cetera, et cetera, and I don't want to upset
yeah.
him. Yes, it's a damn shame. You still have to have that
Well,
mindset.
and the justification, like, well, but he works hard. Well, but he does this. Well, but he shovels the walk when it snows.
Right.
Okay, great. Awesome. B, are you appreciative of that? Yes. Do you tell him? Yes. Okay. When was the last time that he thanked you for doing the dishes or you going to work or whatever? And yeah, crickets. They got no answer. Like,
I hear that. Oh my God, good luck. God bless them for that. Good luck with, yeah, that's woo, still an issue. Hope they'll
yeah.
get better. But Michelle, do you have any tips or pointers for writers in general, um, or for those who initially just want to break in and again they're afraid to
Mhm.
speak their voice or create their voice?
Yeah. Honestly, do it. Like, I'm not even kidding you. If I could go back and tell younger me, because I just turned 50.
Oh God.
So if I could go back and tell even 30-year-old me, write the book. Write the book. It doesn't matter if people don't like it. Who cares? Like, write the
Right,
book. Maybe it'll sell one copy. Maybe it'll be a bestseller and you can retire. Who cares? Right.
right.
And I think that's still such a fear. Like, well, what if people don't want to read it? Well, what if people don't? Who cares? Who cares? And don't spend a lot of money. So I self-publish on KDP, so with Amazon, so through Kindle publishing.
Hmm.
I mean, you're writing it on your own computer, so short of buying a computer, that's not costing you anything.
Right.
And full disclosure, I never use AI for my text or the stories,
Right.
but for the artwork, I do
Okay.
because don't pay an illustrator. Like, and nothing against illustrators, but if you're
Right.
just starting out, they're expensive, right?
Yeah.
So try to just save those like costs for yourself and put out one or two. Maybe it flops, maybe it doesn't. You'll get some feedback. You'll get, you'll find a spelling mistake on page 5 when it goes to print, and you'll be like, oh no, it's okay. It's okay.
That's
And
right.
just honestly, just take that first step. Like that would be my biggest, if I could give younger me some advice, is don't let all those excuses stand in the way. Just write until your heart is content and put them out there. Put them out there. Someone will read it. At least one person will read it.
And I hear that. Right? But what about Michelle, what about an editor though? I know, do you guys have you have your different feelings on it getting an editor?
I haven't used one. The co-authored project that I did back in June, that publishing house had an editor process and
Okay.
editors read it and whatever. I didn't have any edits that I had to make, so
Mhm.
I think probably with my career background, like spelling and grammar come easy to me. Like I've always had to
Oh.
self-check my own work. So
Oh, okay.
thankfully, but I belong to a few different sort of like social media groups of authors, and some people swear by using an author or an editor, sorry, and some are like, no, it's just extra cost and they're just trying to get in on your work, and
Right.
it's such a divisive topic.
Uh-huh.
I don't use one though. Like I read
Okay.
it through, I do spell check and let her go.
No, we all got different ways of doing it. Absolutely. I hear
Yeah,
that. But no, I appreciate it from your insight. Me, I'm looking to hopefully get my first novella out next year. I need prayer with my first novella. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna I do need some type of editor, but I'm working on it and I'm
love
on my
it.
next revision now. But absolutely. I mean, I love your book right now in general. So I'm still like on the first few
Thank you.
chapters. So it's beautiful anyway. But yeah,
Thank you.
thank you for that. Patricia, do you want to let everybody know where they can find you and everything, including the mirror and
Yeah,
your
so my website is michelledouglas.ca, exactly as it sounds. All of my books are available on Amazon. So if you just search up my name, they're all kind of in a row. There is another author that has the same name. We write very different content.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
so if you go looking through the list that's on my website, then you can see on Amazon which books are mine. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, all the things. You can find me there, TikTok, all of it. So, yeah.
Okay. I appreciate it. No, Michelle, thank you very much for coming on, taking the time out. I really definitely do appreciate it. And
Thank
guys,
you.
you're very welcome, guys. And thank you again for hanging out with me and Michelle. Definitely check out her new psychological thriller, The Mirror. And you guys have a good night, and I will see you next time.